Hello everybody, this is Justin from Tame Type 1. Today, I'm going to share more about this amazing invention I've made that combines the convenience of the pen with the quickness and the precision of the syringe. Now let me explain this a little bit for those that don't know. I don't like to use insulin pens, at least not directly. The problem with insulin pens like this one right here for Toujeo is that, for one, pens just aren't very accurate at low doses, and sometimes you can't even get low enough. Many pens only have 1 unit increments, and some of us like to be able to do half units every now and then. And even if you're doing whole units, if you're using just 1 or 2 units for a correction or something like that, then it's not going to be very accurate, because what happens is you take your little dose and you put it in, you pull it out, and wow, look at that, insulin is dropping out of the needle. And especially for low doses, this could mean a big difference in the dose you want to get versus the dose you actually get. So at low doses especially, the pen just isn't very accurate, it's not very reliable, and you have to actually have it inserted in your body for a super long time to get most of the insulin through. It's very inconvenient in that regard, even with the ability to just, dial it up and press it down. It's convenient in that way, but inconvenient in other ways. Now, the syringe, on the other hand, it's actually much quicker. You just pull it in, pull it out, and all the insulin that's going to be in the syringe has to be pushed out into your body because, wow, look at this, there's no room for it to go. So there's not going to be any droplets at the end, but the problem is it's very wasteful. I mean, you can technically reuse syringes if you want, but the problem is when you have a syringe that you've used insulin in and you want to insert it back into the same vial, well, you can end up contaminating the insulin in the vial with the old insulin in the syringe, and that can cause a huge issue. That can make your insulin eventually go bad, so you don't want to do that. So you end up having to throw a lot out, and especially if you're doing, again, small doses like corrections, for example, 1 unit, 2 unit, half unit corrections, you're going to end up using up a lot of syringes, especially if you don't have your basal figured out, you don't have your meals figured out yet. That's going to be a lot of waste, and it's also just kind of inconvenient. It's very precise, it's very fast, and even with this 3/10cc syringe, you can do half units, as you can see here, but there's that waste issue, and there's that sort of lack of convenience. You need to carry the vial around and your syringe, not the most convenient thing ever. Now, just to show you what I mean here when I say the pens aren't very accurate when it comes to low doses because of droplets, let me just pull out this line here and give you a visual example. So we have this pen, right? It's a little Toujeo pen. Let's say we want to do, 3 units, right? We do 3 units, we push it in, plunge, and let's say we even wait a little bit. Let's wait 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We pull it out, and wow, look at that. You're getting tons of droplets of insulin, big drops. And for such a small amount of insulin, that can make a big difference. And that's still going to happen even if you wait longer. So you have to wait, and even when you pull it out, you're still getting drops out. It's just not very accurate and not very convenient. As opposed to, let's say, the syringe, to where, let's say you have a little bit of insulin in here, you take it out, you put it in the line, bam, bam, thank you, ma'am. Wow, that's it, real quick, no wait, and look, no droplets, because there's no room for the insulin to go, whereas with the pen, there's a bit of a pressure difference that has to be made up, and it takes a longer time, right? So no drops, it's quick, it's easy, but again, the problem is the waste. The problem is it's not quite as convenient. So how do we get over these issues? How do we combine the convenience and the reusability of the insulin pen with the quickness and the precision of the syringe? The solution to that is simple. It's this new invention I've made that is a combination of the pen and the syringe that I dub the Pro Precision Pen. Now, what this basically is a lily pen that I've modified. I took the vial out and I replaced it, as you can see here, with a syringe. I'll already have you know right now, quick update, little spoiler, I'm going to start selling these. Yes, that's right. I'm going to start selling these because I've finally managed to get a once a month supply of Lily brand pens. Now, I don't have a ton of them, but month by month I'll be able to make more and I'll be able to sell more. So you'll be able to actually hit me up if you want one of these. And if you do, what I'm going to do right now is show you exactly how it works. Now, let's dissect this a little bit. So you take this part, and what you'll notice is that this pen cap, for example, has notches cut out into it and a hole down there. That's so that's the syringe can fit through and the wings can fit through for the type. Now, what else I did is with the actual pen part that dials back, I took the vial out and I cut it sort of in half with my laser cutter. That's why it's a little burnt here. And with this, you can simply rest your syringe onto it, put the cap on, and essentially, where the vial was before, that was 300 units, you instead have a syringe there that is maximum 30 units. So it's actually going to be 1/10 of the precision, as opposed to 1 unit, you can get 1/10 unit. And I'll show more of that in a minute. So let me show you exactly how this works. These are the two parts of it. You got the pen, you got the cap. Let me show you exactly how you make this from step 1 to step Z, right? So let's say we have our syringe, we have our insulin. Let's fill this bad boy up. Now, right now, the max capacity of the pen syringe tool, the Pro Precision pen, is around 6 units. I might try to increase this, but unfortunately, the more units you put in, the longer and more awkward it gets. So right now, the sweet spot I have is 6 units. So let's go ahead and fill this up. We'll get this to about 6 units total. Get rid of any bubbles in there. Alright, looks like we're at about 6 units here. So we take that out, we put the orange cap back on, and then we take the pen, modified pen cap, and actually insert it in there, and get the wings lined up with these notches and just push it through. You want to make sure this is lined up with the hole as well. If not, you can just jiggle a little bit. But what you want to end up with is the wings all the way up as far as you can go, like this. Then you're going to want to take your pen. You want to make sure that this plunger is all the way back, and if not, you want to crank it back, and I'll show you how to do it in a moment. But let's say it is. It will be if you just order this in the mail from me automatically. You just insert it in like that, and then if you need to twist it, you want to make sure you twist it to into where it clicks. Because once it clicks, once you can feel it sort of tight in place, that's when you know it's ready to go. Now, once you got that in, what you want to do is you want to take this orange cap off and prime it, right? Just like with an insulin pen, you want to prime it and make sure insulin's coming out of the needle before you start using it. Because the way this thing works is the plunger in here is going to get in contact with the plunger in the syringe, and then that plunger is going to push that plunger, which is going to push the insulin out here. You want to make sure that plunger is hitting that other plunger first. So you want to prime it to, let's say, bring to 5, which in this case would be half the unit. Push it out, and you should see some insulin coming out the end there. As you can see there, there's a little bit of insulin coming out. You want to make sure there's some drops coming out. That means that the plunger has hit the syringe and you're ready to roll. You want to make sure you do that, otherwise you're going to end up dosing less than you think, because you're going to hit some air, you know what I mean? So you'll make sure that's out of the way, and once you're primed up ready to go, this pen tool is ready to use. Now let me show you how to use it. Now to show you how this actually is used, and when you actually want to inject it, let me bring back this lime, okay? So we got this lime back out. First thing we do, of course, is we dial it back. And as I was mentioning before, with this pen, it actually works in 1/10 unit dosing. As in every single one of these notches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is not 1 unit, but it's 1/10 of a unit. That means 3 would not be 3 units, but would be 3/10 of a unit. 5 would be 5/10 of the unit, or half unit. 10 would be a full unit. 20 would be 2 units. And if, let's say, you wanted to do 1.7 units, then you would dial it to 17. See what I'm saying? Very simple. So let's say we want to do, I don't know, 1.2 units. We got a 12 mark. Then what we do is we take this orange cap off, and what you want to do is you want to be pinching this area right here where the pen cap meets the pen, you want to pinch that on both sides with your middle finger and your thumb like this. And then you have your index finger on the plunger like that. Why do you want to pinch this? Because if you don't, then there's a chance that this cap might move up when the plunger pushes against it. And if the cap moves up, that means the syringe moves up, and then that means the plunger in the syringe is not pushing through. So you're not going to get your full dose of insulin. You want to make sure that this pen stays in contact with the cap. If you see a gap, you want to make sure that you fix that, you push it in before you pull it out, otherwise you're not going to get that full dose. And to avoid that, you simply pinch it firmly with your thumb and middle finger, that way it won't move. You put your index finger on the plunger, you stick it in, bam, done. Look at that. Look at that. Very little insulin coming out. You know, there isn't just some maximum amount of drops coming out, and it was super duper quick. And again, I think the best part about this is actually the fact that you can just be so precise with it. You can literally do 1/10 unit dosing if you need 1.5 units, if you need 2.1 units, if you need, you know, just 0.2 units, of just a quarter of a unit of insulin is completely possible with this pen. There's no other way to do that in any accurate sense outside of diluting insulin, which isn't even possible for many brands of insulin. So I think that's a wonderful thing that it can do. Along with the combination of being a pen and syringe, along with being able to be quick, be accurate, be precise, reduce your waste on syringes, because you can, let's say you do corrections, for example, and you only do 1 unit corrections at a time, you can use this 6 times for 6 corrections without risking the insulin in the vial itself from going bad. So you save on syringes, you save on a lot of different things, and best of all, you have dead accurate, very precise doses that you can fine tune up to 1/10 of a unit. So it's an incredible invention. I hope this helps you learn how to use it. And if you'd like to buy one, I'll be selling them for around $40 each plus shipping, depending on what part of the world you're in. I'll be glad to sell you one of these. I'm making more and more as we speak. That's all, everyone. Keep taming your type 1. Try out this awesome new tool I've made. I think it's just, honestly, I think it's the coolest thing ever. I really do. Try it for yourself. I love to send you one. And hopefully you can make this part of your tame type 1 regimen. Hey guys, if you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, be sure to share it around with your friends and any other diabetic you know, and be sure to subscribe to the channel so that way you can keep updated on the latest videos coming out from Tame Type 1. Be sure also to go on my page, tametype1.com, where you can find more guides, where you can find testimonials, and so much more awesome information on taming type 1 diabetes. Now, along with that, I want you to follow me on all my social platforms across the web, and keep in mind, big tech censorship is getting heavier and heavier against dissent. And as you might know, Tame Type 1 is dissent against the medical establishment dogma. So I'm not sure how long I'm going to be on Facebook and YouTube, my main platforms, but just in case, I need you guys to also follow me on BitChute, on Gab, on Parler, on Telegram, and also on Rumble. So be sure to give me a like and give me a follow on these platforms as well. I'll have them linked below. And that way, no matter what happens, no matter how censorious or technical overlords get, you can keep following me at tametype1.com and keep learning more about what it takes to tame your type 1.